there's a way in which what we're doing right now is a very radical and revolutionary thing and very empowering. The reason for that is that one of the giant themes that I think disturbs everybody about what's going on right now is the implicit message that says, you're inherently worthless, whoever you are. So we retreat, depending on whether we got fight or flight, programming. Either we hide out and we say, okay, we're worthless, I'm going to stay out of sight and nobody will be able to pick on my worthlessness, or else we lash out and try to get the attacks to stop somehow. But the reality of it is that what we long for in either one of those is to do this right here, is to be heard and to be seen, and to say, I deserve to walk down the street wherever I live and whoever I live around, and to know that I am safe and cared for. Period. And I don't mean just me. If you're a bipedal creature on this planet, then you deserve it. I think that's like the foundation. It's like, I am not opposed to action. I believe that action is how we get out of this. What I struggle with and have trouble with is action that comes from an almost autonomic response to not wanting to feel that worthlessness. This is where it starts right here. Is to say, you know what? It's like all of us, we're out there, we're bouncing off of walls going, what do we do, what do we do, what do we do? And you come in here and you say, you know what, this scares me. And even just sitting here and saying, this scares me, and you look across the circle and someone else says, yeah, it scares me too. I don't think we have to get rid of the fear. I think we have to own it. And that's about being seen and knowing that we are in a community of people who are scared right now. That's, I think, where we start. Yeah. I think it's totally appropriate to be scared right now. But what I see going on around me from every side of the political spectrum is people who don't want to be scared. And they're trying to do anything to keep from feeling what they're really feeling.
It's just good to see other people and to recognize that other people do share some of the same feelings, and to be seen because I can't talk about this or like this with other people. When I grew up, my family never said anything denigrating about another group of people, even though they were from the South. It was like there was just a psychic disavowalment of that mindset, and I was very proud of that, of my mother and father always helping people, giving, helping people, and to think that this is okay because they're illegal to do what they're doing to the children. The level of cruelty is so astounding.
The thing that is important to me about this is that I really love seeing people in their depth. Mm-hmm. And this is the only place I can do that. I mean, I just see people on the streets and then friends come over and they talk about everything but, and I always feel guilty if I try to go too deeply into anything because it's a party or it's fun or whatever. But here I can really see the humanity in all of you and hear the humanity in all of you, and it just makes me feel so good. Amen.
Oh, that's beautiful. I think I'm just seconding what people have said already. To me, this is a kind of an exploration, and I'm very patient. I've been teaching music for 35 years, so I have to be. Yeah. I don't feel like any resolutions have to be made now, but I love the idea of continuing.
If we're human, we're storytellers. And every living thing has a voice. Trees have a voice, ants have a voice, humans have a voice, every living thing has a voice. And when there is a circle, there is a spirit of a fire in the middle of the circle, because that's how we gathered for hundreds of thousands of years in a circle around a fire. And the fire of listening and the fire of storytelling move through each other like blood moves through a body. And what you all have kind of started here is really just the dissemination of our greatest legacy as humans. Because in Washington, D.C., listening and telling the truth of one's story has been banished. I have the good fortune of, I have 2 adult daughters and young adult daughters, and one just got her master's in education recently. She's become a social studies teacher. And so I gave her a bunch of books as a social studies teacher. One of them was a copy of Mein Kampf. One was Chairman Mao's book, Das Kapital, and the other was the U.S. Constitution and the Great Law of Peace. Because the Great Law of Peace from the Iroquois Confederacy is how we adopted their government. We didn't make it up, we adopted a government. And how those people who were at war for hundreds and hundreds of years, those tribes in the northeast part of this country, how they finally came out of conflict. The worst hundreds of years of war, torture, kidnapping, it was everything, it was horrible. Was one guy came along and he said, let's just sit down and talk and listen. That's all he did. He was called the peacemaker. That's what he did. And we're just doing the same thing here. He just brought people into their humanity. That's what's happening here. So, I highly recommend reading chapter 10 of Mein Kampf. It's titled Politics and Race. There's a great amount of insight to be had there that I found, on one hand, calming because it let me brought into focus what's happening. And that empowered me in terms of being able to respond in a way that attests what I believe. Because, in the end, we become what we oppose. The harder you push against something that's hardened, the more you become that shape. Understanding what is happening, understanding how it is happening, understanding how that voice is coming into the world has given me, my voice, more clarity, more power, more acceptance of my fear. Sharing fear here hasn't generated more fear. It's dispelling fear. Because there's listening, which is different than agreeing, which is different than condoning. Those are really different things. So, thank you for beginning this, because I think probably every neighborhood in America is hungry for it.